So MJ is asking, God is all knowing and all seeing. He knew the outcome of the events even before he created the earth. Why did God create Adam and Eve knowing that both would sin after he created them?
Thanks, MJ. I know this is a question that a lot of people struggle with, but I think it's just with everything, it's good to read the Bible through the lens of 1 John 4:8, which says, "He who does not love does not know God, for God is love." So, really, this right here is the answer because God is love. And let's unpack that. 1 Corinthians 13, 4 to 8. 1 Corinthians 13, starting at verse 4, it says, "Love is patient, love is kind," and then go through down the list. But going to verse 7, it says, "It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres, love never fails." So love always trusts. And then the NIV puts it that way. Love always trusts. Um, so what does that mean to always trust? I mean, if you have a loved one and you never trust them, like, I don't trust you. You're not going to have access to my bank accounts. We're not going to share our bank accounts. You can never leave the house without me because I'm afraid you might go cheat on me. You can, I always am going to track your phone. I'm like, is that really love? Or does love give room for the person to make choices, to be their own independent actor, so that that person also has room to choose to love you? Because if love is forced, love is not voluntary, it cannot be true love. Love is other-centeredness. It's really got to be from the heart, genuine. And so if God made Adam and Eve and basically create a situation where they had no choice and they were just guaranteed to stick on God's side, that wouldn't be true love. We were made in his image under Genesis 1:26-27, God's image. God makes choices. God is an actor, a moral actor, so are we. And in Genesis 2:19, we see Adam naming all the living creatures. God's giving him choice, giving them the ability to make decisions. And then we come to the Old Testament, and it's very clear, like Deuteronomy 30:15, start at verse 15. It says, like, "I have set before you today life and good, death and evil." So this was said to the Israelites, but don't those same words in a sense speak to Adam and Eve and their experience? God says, if you eat this fruit, you will die. So he put that choice before them, the choice that they could choose to love God and believe God and trust God, or to believe the serpent who was promising that they could be as good as God or be just like God, and and doubt God, and they chose to go that way. And now here's something that's really interesting. So why even make humans in the first place? Luke 20 verses 35-36, it says, "But those who are counted worthy to attain that age and the resurrection from the dead neither marry nor given in marriage, nor can they die anymore, for they are equal to the angels and are sons of God," being sons of the resurrection. So at the time of resurrection, when Christ returns, his righteous people are going to be like the angels, which is really interesting because if you go to Jude 1:6, it talks about the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation. He is reserved in everlasting chains. So we got angels who have left their first estate. Who are those angels? Revelation 12:7-9, it says, "A war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought with the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back, but they did not prevail, nor was a place found for them in heaven anymore." And verse 9 goes on to talk about how they were cast down to earth. So there's all these dwelling places of these angels who were cast out. Can you imagine? And we hear from Revelation that was about a third of the angels. And now there's like a third of heaven empty because those angels are now cast down here on earth. So God wants a place to, or wants a race to replenish those empty homes. And so it's interesting when you see in John 14:2, Jesus saying, "In my house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would tell you." So yeah, Jesus goes to prepare a place for us, but that place actually already exists. God is just preparing heaven to accept sinful humans. Hopefully, we'll never sin again. Back into that place. So that is really the calling. That's the plan. That's why God made humans, but also again gave us choice so that we can be truly, genuinely loving God. That's what God really wants. True, genuine worship. And at the end of the day, I like this verse, Ecclesiastes 7:8. It says, "The end of the matter is better than the beginning, and patience is better than pride." So yeah, it's terrible now. It seems awful. Why would God, make us just to sin and all these things happen? It's not that that was guaranteed to happen. Again, Adam and Eve had a choice, but God has, through the plan of redemption, created a plan. He's created a guaranteed an outcome that is going to be better than if we had never sinned. Like now we have more knowledge of the love of God. Now mankind is closer to God than ever would have been possible. And we're going to, as a race, take on a new form and fill those gaps left by Satan and his angels. And it's going to be an amazing thing. I mean, this to me just blows my mind how God can turn a bad thing into a completely better thing. So, and as a result of this, sin will never come again. We have that in Nahum 1:10. What you conspire against the Lord, he will make an utter end of it. Affliction will never rise up a second time. And we can be a part of that process of making sure it'll never rise again, to have that testimony, be able to tell other worlds and other new creations that, hey, really do believe God. Because let me tell you about what happened on earth and what we experienced and the suffering we experienced because of sin and how good and right God is. So, that's a nutshell. Hopefully we'll give you an idea of why God did it. We'll ultimately get more understanding when we can hang out with God and ask him directly, but hope that gives you some insight.